Morning. It is 5:35. It's a pretty late day for me today. And I say pretty late because typically by 5 o'clock I'm in the gym, working out, ready to go. But today at school, we do have late start. So I told myself that I could get in those little extra hours of needed sleep, which in reality it really only turned into like 30 minutes of extra sleep because of my sleep quality. Last night I had like a coughing fit right before bed, so I didn't sleep with mouth tape on. So my sleep quality wasn't the best, but I told myself that I would give myself a little bit of extra sleep. In return, I had to come to school and work out here because of the fact that, we take out the driving time of going to the other gym and lots of other stuff. Like there's a lot of different areas that I could have ripped off time and said, well, you're saving time by working out at the school if you do X, Y, and Z. So we're gonna work out here today, which I'm kind of happy with because I'm gonna use some of the VERT tech, to be honest. And especially when it comes to training my athletes, I would like to put myself in the position to use the same tools that the athletes only have access to. So whether that be the VERT technology, but also whether that be just the only bars and trap bars and the weight equipment that they have here. They don't have certain leg machines here. So I got to make use of leg machines if I want to, do certain other accessories. They have sliders here. I got to learn to use, I got to work to use the sliders. Lots of different things. And that is kind of what I was aiming for is of course, if I'm trying to apply programs to myself and then put them back onto the kids, what can I do to make it as realistic as possible? And one of those ways is to make it to where I have access to the same exact equipment that they have access to, and that's it. So we have lower body today. Honestly, I'm typically somebody that does a heavy lower body and a dynamic lower body. Now, I've also kind of shifted my mindset in a sense of everything can be heavy. You can always have a heavy lower body day. Even on dynamic days, it can be heavy, So today we're gonna do some overcoming isometrics. And then on top of that, we're gonna do some heavy trap bar deadlifts off the blocks. I'm actually going to take out you can barely see it there, but I'm gonna take out my flex unit, which is my velocity tracker. We're gonna use that today on the trap bar just to see the type of force and the speed that we're getting out of it. So we're gonna use that. We're gonna use the force dex to determine the force that I'm pushing into the bar on these overcoming isometrics and just kind of play around with that program through there. With that being said, let's get to it. So you could ask yourself, why am I going hands on hips rather than using my arms, especially because I use my arms on the first few reps? I've learned with myself, I'm a very upper body, arm dominant jumper. My arms momentum was helping, and I'm a big preacher of using your arms when it comes to stuff like this, sprinting, jumping, stuff like that. But I almost felt as if my arms were I wasn't getting extension out of my hips. I was watching the film back, my hips were staying behind. So in order to drill that, what I chose to do is put my hands on my hips so that way I could further drill that and kind of get an understanding of like, hey, use your legs, use your lower body, triple extend. And then when we, really start to work in, then we could start using our arms and stuff like that. If I'm being honest with you guys, I embarrassed myself on the last ones. Check it out. Oh, that hurt. Those went up 2 heights. I lowered them down to just going up by 1 height just for the sake of getting my reps in. But yeah, that didn't feel pretty. So we raised it up to height number 2. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add in a little bit more of a reactive component to it. We're gonna add some mini jumps in between the hurdles. And then again, reacting off the floor, trying to have, in a sense, more spring, more bounce. If there's one thing that I can say to the younger generation, and anybody watching this for that matter, growth does not come from comfort. Growth does not come from, being the hot shot all the time. Growth comes from embarrassment like that, and it comes from, failing. That's where growth comes, when you fail. I'm gonna embrace what happened. It hurt, but I'm gonna embrace what happened. In that moment, I could have done 2 things. I could have stopped altogether and said, you know what, this was a mesh, this was a wash, cut the video, let's just not record today. Or I could come back from it. I can at least know my boundaries and know my limits, because I was being very big-headed and saying I could cover 2 inches higher. I could cover 2 heights higher. And with that, I come back, I get humble, and I pull the weight down. I'm in pain. My shin's killing me. But that's growth, man. That is growth. At the end of the day, that is growth. And you don't grow unless you go through something similar to that, or many instances similar to that. You got to fail in order to grow. All right, so now we're on to the actual lift. You're probably wondering, Josh, why do you have 6 plates on, no warm up? Are you gonna squat it? Absolutely not. You can also probably ask, why do you have the force decks from Vald underneath? So we're gonna work on what is called an overcoming isometric. Basically, I'm going to be driving maximal force through this immovable object. An immovable object like this, basically, I've never even put this on my back. So I know that I can't squat it off the bar. Could I have gone underneath the racks and used that as some type of leverage? For sure, to where I didn't have to stack all these up. But then, I don't know, I wanted to do it this way. So we're gonna do that. We're driving maximal force through the floor. Now, when I do this, I'm personally working a little bit more through the ankle, a little less through the knee, and trying to limit the amount that I'm pushing through the hips. With that, I'm gonna have the Vald force decks kind of monitoring how hard I'm pushing. And then, right after that, I'm gonna go into, follow me. I'm gonna go into block trap bar deadlift. Now, you can even see that I have the flex unit on the end of the trap bar. I'm gonna be monitoring how fast the trap bar moves. Now, the reason why I have it on blocks is because of the fact that this is the position that I will be jumping out of. This is the position that, if I'm gonna be pulling, or if I'm gonna be jumping, I'm not gonna be jumping down here, I'm gonna be jumping from about here. So we're gonna try to put these 2 together and make something of it. Three, 2, 1, go. All right, that's a wrap. I just got word that freaking UNLV, the starting quarterback for UNLV just decided he's leaving UNLV this season today, 3 days before game day, after a long bye. So it is as a UNLV alum, as a fan, oh, this hurts. But anyway, that's it. Shorter video, but really just wanted to walk you through, this journey of trying to achieve a goal that I've never really had. I've never had over a 30-inch vert. 30 inches is my peak. Now, as a trainer, this is where I start to put my brain to work. As an athlete, this is where I start to put my body to work. And just kind of using, what I do on a daily on myself. It'd be easy for me just to come in, work out, get a pump, whatever. But doing it all together, one of my students, doing it all together kind of helps me figure out, okay, how does this feel? Why does this happen? What's going on? X, Y, Z, W. It's X, Y, Z, W, W, X, Y, Z. So like I said, I'm growing as a coach. I'm growing as an athlete. I'm only 26, about to turn 27. There's still a lot of growth that's available. So growing my body, growing my mind, growing my overall athleticism, that is the goal. That is the main caveat of what I'm aiming for within this industry in general, So again, putting my mind to work, putting my body to work, and seeking the best results possible for the sake of my athletes, for the sake of myself. And this is my God-called duty on this earth, I believe, is to sit here, work on furthering examples of strength and conditioning, work on furthering athletics and performance through training. So the sun is out, the sun is shining. It is 7:20. And let's clean up the mess that I've made in this gym and call it a day. But with that, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. Thanks for following me on this journey of trying to get my vertical jump up. I'm really trying not to be one of those trainers that says this does this, and this. But in a sense, I'm trying to be a coach that uses methods on myself to develop a trait. And that trait right now is a vertical jump. So with that, I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget, like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the things. I appreciate you. I'll see you next time.